And the leader stayed out. Brandon, what do you think?
At this point in the race, the gloves are going to be off. We got 43 laps to go coming to the line right here. It's going to be interesting to see if the 16 of Derek Kraus has anything for Kevin Harvick in that 4 car.
Track position maintained. Harvick, the leader in the green and white 4, takes the outside line. Coming back to green at Kern County Raceway.
A lot better restart for Derek Kraus in the 16. He's able to hang with Kevin Harvick. Working that bottom, gets into him a little bit, side by side going down the back.
Whoa, working the side just a little bit. You see Harvick had to get out of the gas. Here they come down into turn 3. More contact. The 16 is sideways. Harvick is sideways. He saves it. And to the lead goes Cole Rouse.
Cole Rouse tried to make it 3 wide going into turn 3. I think that spooked the 16 of Derek Kraus a little bit, getting into the side of Kevin Harvick in the 4 car.
Oh, my. Hard racing up front. The 16 of Kraus gets into the veteran, the local, the superstar, Kevin Harvick.
I can promise you one thing, Dave. I know that Derek Kraus right now, he better hope that Kevin Harvick in the 4 car doesn't get back to him. Kevin's going to be charging back up through this field.
Here's how it happened. Down the backstretch at the restart.
That turn 3 entry is so light. We talked about it earlier. It's hard to get wheel in your car. A lot of guys fight free in. I think it spooked the 16 of Derek Kraus when his teammate of Cole Rouse got underneath him, washing up into Kevin Harvick. Tough break for Kevin and his team. They've been dominating this race all night long.
Another look at it. You see a little bit of a tire rub there. Don't know if that will come into play later. There's Rouse squeaking through on the bottom. Also the 9 of Partridge and the 6 of Derek Thorne and the 7 and all the way back to 9th went Kevin Harvick.
And what's going to happen right here, Dave, is he's got a lot of trash on his tires. He might have a flat tire. That lot of contact from the 16 getting into his left rear, getting up in that dust. You can see that dust above the 2nd lane. It's going to take a few laps to get grip back in his tires.
All right, put us in the driver's seat for Derek Kraus. Rookie of the year last year, 1 full season of experience, but a young racer. He's just made a little bit of a mistake, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a costly mistake for him, too. He lost a lot of track position. Obviously, Kevin Harvick came out on the wrong end of it, more so than the 16 to Derek Kraus. But, yeah, it's a tough deal. I know Derek is really excited trying to win a race here in the late going of this race, but sometimes you gotta pick your battles wisely. I'm sure Kevin's not going to be too impressed with how he got run up the hill right there.
No, in the crowd, it was a mixture of cheers and, oh my, they couldn't believe what happened to their hero, many of them.
Well, and here's the thing. I think when Kevin goes back and watches this race, I don't think he'll mind too much the contact in 3 and 4, seeing that the 99 try to make it 3 wide. I think when you add in the addition of being run into down in turn 1 and 2, I'm assuming he might have a little bit of issue with getting run over a couple times. But I know Derek Kraus, he's a good young racer. He's really fired up trying to win races for his Bill McAnally racing team, and that's what he's supposed to do. But definitely a little bit of inexperience on his part, getting into the side of a guy like Kevin Harvick, that Kevin can help you or he can hurt
you. He won't forget, that is for sure. Well. At the left of your screen there, the black 99. That is Cole Rouse. He accepts the invitation to take the low line and miss all that. Meanwhile, Ryan Partridge in the 9 has moved into 2nd. Behind him, teammate Derek Thorne in the 6th. And here comes Derek Kraus. I don't think a lot of speed was lost in that 16.
Yeah, I'm surprised. For as far as him and Kevin Harvick slid up the hill, that 16 car has a lot of speed. He's starting to work that middle groove, get his momentum built up, and take away the exit of these cars as he charges back up towards the front of the field. Really good run off of turn 4 right there. Whoa, lap traffic getting into turn 1 there. That about got big. That
was close. They get through it and still trying the high side. Derek Kraus down to the inside, Derek Thorne. And Kraus is going to make that pass.
Great recovery for those Sunrise Fords, Partridge and Derek Thorne. I mean, for them to start as far as back as they did, we talked about them not getting the testing time that they needed to get ready for this race. Really impressive run by those 2 guys.
Yeah, Partridge had a better qualifying run, 5th for him, but Thorne started all the way back in 12th. And as we mentioned, this is the first race on radials for the West Series, and anyone who didn't race with you, Brandon, at New Smyrna in the East Series is really getting their first taste of the radials in a K&N Pro car.
And we're seeing that experience from the teams really pay off. The 16 to Derek Kraus, we mentioned he did the test here. Whoa, big slide from him getting in turn 3. He's really pushing that car, trying to get everything that he can to run back down his teammate, Cole Rouse, in the 99. But as I was saying, Dave, these guys, you know, Derek Kraus, he went out to New Smyrna and he got a lot of laps. The 99 at Cole Rouse, he was also there, had a really strong second place run at New Smyrna. And we're seeing that overall speed from Ty Joyner and his Bill McAnally Racing team really pay off.
Coming up on a lot of lap traffic here for Partridge. He goes to the high side, and Rich DeLong is there. It is blocked, and Partridge is going to go from second back to fourth, and Derek Kraus is going to get right back to second.
Derek, he's not afraid to run into anyone out there. I know he's wheeling that 16 car, but he's bouncing off of lap cars, bouncing off the top three right there. But tough break for Ryan Partridge.
Yeah.
He had nowhere to go. I'm sure he was waiting on Rich DeLong in the 84 to make his mind up as to where he wanted to go. But Derek Kraus, he's being ultra racy right here at the end, being really aggressive. But he's definitely marching his way up through the field, so it's working for him.
25 laps to go, this time by the start-finish line, so he doesn't have a lot of time. He can see Cole Rouse. He knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly what he's running. He's his teammate, and now he's into second and clear.
We're really seeing that 16 car come alive right here, that long-run speed. You know, he had to race really hard right there with Derek Thorne, so hopefully he didn't overheat his tires to be able to make a charge to the front to go for that win.
Come back to Bakersfield and see if Derek Kraus can catch his teammate. With laps winding down at Kern County Raceway Park in Bakersfield, California. The leader is the 99 of Cole Rouse, who shot to the lead when the 16 of Derek Kraus got into then leader Kevin Harvick and provided the opportunity. Now Rouse sees a challenge from Kraus, who's made up all this ground. Brandon McReynolds, Dave Burns with you, seeing the end of a great one at Kern County.
Two teammates duking it out right here, getting all they can. We're watching Derek Kraus really drive that car down into turn 3. Cole Rouse is able to get a little bit of better exit, but the 16, Derek Kraus, is definitely inching in on his teammate.
Here you see the progress of Kevin Harvick. Dropped all the way back to 9th on the scoring pylon and is now back up to 4th with that pass on Ryan Partridge.
Kevin's car is really working that bottom well. I know he's been fighting a little bit of a snug condition all the way through the center, but it's almost like he just lost too much track position. That contact with the 16 of Derek Kraus, he just almost is too far behind and not enough laps to run those guys back down. I think he has the speed in his car, just too much distance and too much ground to cover here with only so many laps left.
Lap traffic still an issue for the leaders. Bill Kahn in the 18 moves to the high side, but that slowed down leader Rouse just enough for Kraus to get to the back bumper.
That's a really tough position for Cole Rouse to be in. You know, when you're the leader and you're working your way down towards the end of the race, you got someone breathing down your neck trying to make that pass on you.
Whoa, look at that! Derek Kraus to the lead on the inside when Cole Rouse gets bottled up in lap traffic.
What a tough break for Cole Rouse in that 99 car. He looked like he was keeping that lead and a few car lengths in front of his teammate at Derek Kraus. But once again, like we were just talking about, that lap traffic has been really crazy tonight at Kern County for some reason. I don't know why. They always tell us in these drivers' meetings to keep the lap cars on the bottom, but for whatever reason, they're all going to the top, and that really hurt the leader of Cole Rouse right there in that situation.
Yeah, or at least the middle line there was the 84 of Rich DeLong, and choosing to dive down was Derek Kraus, and he now has the lead in the 16, and the 99 of Cole Rouse all the way back to 3rd.
I know Cole Rouse has to be devastated right now to lead in this race coming down to the end. I mean, he was doing everything right, keeping that gap from his teammate, trying to keep the lead. And, man, what a shame to see that lap traffic mess him up right there.
Here's another look. Leader 99 Rouse, 16 Kraus gaining on him, and then this move.
I mean, the 84 definitely showed that he was going to run that middle. It just looked like it kind of caught Cole Rouse off guard a little bit. But as I mentioned, those lap cars are supposed to go to the bottom. He started inching down, and then he just kind of washed back up into the leader of the 99. And Cole Rouse having major issues right there, getting up into that just above that second groove.
Oh, as you said, what a tough break for Rouse. And got all the junk on his tires, then had to collect himself and his race car. There he is back in 3rd, the black and yellow 99. Harvick is 4th, has worked his way back up. But such a two huge turn of events late in this race.
Absolutely, David. And another one, Derek Thorne. We've talked about him a few times tonight. That experience is paying off. He's sitting right there running second. Who knows if we get a late race caution?
Yep.
Might have been saving those tires and might be able to jump on the 16 to Derek Kraus in a late race going here.
We'll see what Thorne can do. A veteran, 2013 West Series champion on the strength of 3 wins. has run a lot of laps around Kern County in a super late model. And he can see the checkered flag from here. Under 10 laps to go. Kraus now trying to keep that 16 under him.
I know talking to Derek Thorne after the test yesterday, he just wasn't able to open that entry into turn one quite as much as some of the faster cars like Derek Kraus in the 16. What you have to do as a driver, you almost have to chop your entry and just go straight to that white line to help your car turn. And we've seen Derek Thorne do just that all night long.
Well, I hope he didn't get up to get another hot dog from the concession stand at just the wrong time. That would have been the restart after the second competition caution when Derek Kraus got into Kevin Harvick and changed everything. And then Kraus's march back through here, and then the loss of the lead by Cole Rouse. This has been exciting down to the end. Harvick back up to fourth, has done so much for his hometown community of Bakersfield. The 2014 Monster Energy Cup Series champion came back here 2 years later, opened up a park at the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County with the help of Cal Ripken Sr. And that sponsor, Fields, on his race car, they're the ones who make those playgrounds possible for groups like the Boys and Girls Club. Kevin wanted so bad to come back here and cap it off with a win, Brandon.
And I think it's great that Kevin Harvick is out here racing for Jefferson Pitts Racing. I know talking to Jeff and Jerry, the two owners of that team, they don't have a lot going for them the rest of the year. I think they have a couple guys scheduled to run Sonoma and at Bristol in a couple weeks, but this is huge to have a household name like Kevin Harvick running in his hometown for their team, and hopefully can keep those guys around for the rest of the year and give them some momentum to try to sign some drivers for the rest of the year.
See the top three. Derek Kraus now 3 laps to go to put that 16 in victory lane right where it was here at the end of the 2017 season. It took Derek all season long to get to victory lane. Part of the problem was he had a couple of great teammates to race against, but he finally got there, and it was right here at Kern County.
And what we saw all year last year was Derek Kraus have that speed, and as you mentioned, it took him to the very final race, but he's got something figured out at this racetrack that really suits his driving style. I know his team has done a great job preparing those 16 Napa Toyotas, and we saw that every single week with Todd Gilliland.
Ryan Partridge in that orange and blue number 9 has run as high as second this evening. Got shuffled out in a lap traffic situation. Now tries to work his way back by Kevin Harvick for fourth, but he's out of time. Final lap of the race. Derek Kraus in the 16 car has put it back to the point at the right time, and the white flag is coming out for him. See if he can win 2 in a row at Kern County.
We've seen that lap traffic all night long be an issue for the leader. I know Derek Kraus has to be thinking going down the back straightaway, just no issues going through turns 3 and 4.
Doesn't look like Thorne is close enough. Derek over Derek and the rest of the field. Derek Kraus back to victory lane in Bakersfield. And the caution out at the same time as the checkers. That's Will Rogers, spun in turn 4. The 7 car who was having an okay night. We got a report from Dylan Welch. He was having brake trouble in the 7 car and just got it wrong at the very final lap there. I wasn't sure if there was contact or not, but that's why the caution came out. Didn't matter for Derek Kraus, who now takes that 16 car back to victory lane and on its way to another championship. Brandon, could it be?
I would not be surprised. Ty Winter and that whole entire Napa team, they have that 16 car right where Todd Gillen and his group from last year left off.
Todd, of course, moved on to the Camping World Truck Series this year. Comes back occasionally to race in K&N Pro Series. Oh, by the way, taking the checkered at New Smyrna in the E-Series a few weeks back. But now it's up to Derek Kraus to once again make the 16 grand, and he's certainly starting off well in 2018.
That 16 was really fast, Dave, but I would have loved to have seen what Cole Rouse in that 99, his teammate, could have done at the end of the race, if he could have held on to that lead, and also to see if Kevin Harvick would have gotten a caution, to see what would have happened with him in the 16 car at the end.
Oh, if we could have, we would have, but we didn't, because Kraus used the bumper and saved his race car and brought it home to victory lane before them all.